Ahoy Duelist Citizen 3 Hellgear! And I've seen some of the cards coming in the Legendary Duelist 2. The set's already out in Japan, but when we get it in the West, come February of 2018, it's going to be called Legendary Duelist Millennium Edition. I want to talk about, in this quickie, 4 cards going with the Ancient Gear archetype, because the support that they get is pretty interesting from what I'm being told. There's also a full deck or set list of this Duelist pack, but I'm going to let you guys check out the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki for yourselves. But first off, let's just talk about these. We're going to start right here with Ancient Gear Frame. Now, yes, the spelling is really weird. It's gear and frame as 2 different words instead of like gear frame for 1 word, but that's how it is translating out. Now, so you guys don't have to squint your eyes on that small print right there. I'll just read what it does. This Earth Machine monster at 4 stars has 1600 attack and 500 defense. And like all Ancient Gears, it has that textbook badassery effect of not allowing your opponents to activate spells and traps until the end of the battle phase. But there's more to it than that. So let me just read this off to you guys right here. Get a real good shot of the card there for everybody to think. And let me know what you guys think of these cards in the comments section below. So anyway, you can discard a card, add from your deck to your hand 1 Ancient Gear Golem, or a spell and trap that lists the card Ancient Gear Golem in its text. You can only use this effect of Ancient Gear Frame once per turn. So essentially, and I'm going to get the quick slow motion here on this. Essentially, Ancient Gear Frame is like a mixture of Magician's Rod and Magician's Robe. You know how Magician's Rod and Magician's Robe work, right? They give you either a spell or a trap that lists Dark Magician in its card text from your deck to your hand, or you can add a Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. Essentially, it's that for Ancient Gear Golem. Now, this effect, this last one is a real doozy. And when I tell you guys this effect, just think about it for a minute. I want you to marinate on this effect right here. Or, as Bakuya from Bleach would say, burn this into your memory. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon up to 3 Ancient Gear Golem or Ultimate Pounds from your hand, ignoring their summoning conditions. That's pretty wild. I mean, you think about that for a minute. And it's not saying destroyed by, if it leaves the field. So, if someone uses like Solemn Strike on it, you get this effect. If they compulsory evacuate it, they get this effect. If it's bounced by Penguin Soldier or Flipping Frog, again, up to 3 Ancient Gear Golems and or Ultimate Pound from your hand. Boom. That is powerful. Personally, the Japanese ban list isn't going to let this slide for too long, because that last one is pretty wild. Personally, I think they're going to make it so that decks are limiting this card. That's just way too powerful to have 3 monsters with a 3000 attack beatdown, one of them which can OTK. So when I get this card, I will be putting 1 in the deck. And trust me, the ban list in our neck of the woods is not going to let you have more than 1 of these. 2, if they give you 2, I'll be shocked. But there's no way in hell you're going to get all 3 in the deck. Next up is their Fusion spell card, Ancient Gear Fusion. You know, the name says what it does. It lets you fuse Ancient Gear monsters. Now, here's a kicker. If you use an Ancient Gear Golem or Ultimate Pound that you control as fusion material, which means it's got to be on your side of the field, you can also use monsters in your deck as fusion material. Now, Fusing from the deck is nothing new. Future Fusion does this, to be honest with you. Everybody knows about Future Fusion. It's limited. I can see gearhead duelists running 2 of these. Maybe they will take this out for polymerization. I can understand this being substituted for the polymerizations in their deck. Now, I want everybody to remember that effect, because it's stuff that you control, like with the gear frame. It has to be in your possession, you know, on your side of the field when it leaves to get its effect. And you get that Ancient Gear Golem ass whoop preparations. And I want you guys to remember that, because one of the next cards is going to be talking about that. Actually, let's get into it now. This trap, competition cross dimension. Excuse me. When I read the effect of this trap card, I literally did the chaw-haws, because this stuff is powerful. And I love the artwork. Look at that. It's like Crowler with Ancient Gear Golem versus Jaden and Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. I'm sure you guys heard about that new Hero Link monster, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, this is how this card works. Target one Ancient Gear Golem you control, banish it. During the next standby phase, return that banished monster by this effect to the field, and its attack is doubled until the end of the turn. Yeah, 6,000 attack point Ancient Gear Golem at the cost of banishing it for a turn. So essentially, it's like, alright, you're going to let your opponent slap you in the mouth for direct damage for 1 turn. And if you manage to survive that, oh, the payback is real. And it's real boss. Especially if it's that ultimate pound. Woo, good night. Speaking of our Ancient Gear Golems, if Ancient Gear Golem and or ultimate pound you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So essentially it's Golem protection, as well as that doubled strength, that what is that card that doubles your strength? Megamorph. So it's essentially a 1-turn Megamorph plus protection. That's pretty wild, especially when it comes to the new fusion monster, which a lot of people have probably heard about. Megaton Ancient Gear Golem. So, to those of you who haven't heard about Megaton Ancient Gear Golem, look at how just boss he looks. God damn. Alright. 2, 4, 6, 8. This 9-star Earth attribute machine fusion of the Ancient Gears requires 3 Ancient Gears to fuse with it. You know how Howitzer is 2 and Chaos Giant is 4? You need 3 for this. And it has 3,300 attack and defense. And just like those just like the classic Ancient Gear Golem textbook badassery, because it has that. You know that if it's hitting, you're not activating spells or traps until the end of the damage step. We all know about the Ancient Gear badassery ability. This guy has it. But its other effects are some real doozies. First and foremost, if this card was fusion summoned using 2 or more Ancient Gear Golem or Ultimate Pounds, it can attack up to that number of times during each battle phase. Remember how Gear Frame, if it leaves the field, you can bring out those Ancient Gear Golems? Well, you can bring out those Ancient Gear Golems using the effect of Frame, fuse them together, and now you've got an Ancient Gear Golem with some serious beat stick power. And remember, if you use 2 Ancient Gear Golems, at least 2 Ancient Gear Golems, at least 2 Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pounds, or 1 of each, it can attack twice. And if you manage to fuse together a combination of 3 of those guys, good night, Irene. So there will be a lot of canvases getting kissed when this thing comes out. Now, remember how Ancient Gear Frame, as I told you, has that summoning effect when it leaves the field by your opponent's card effects? Well, Megaton Golem has an effect like that as well. But instead of special summoning up to 3 Ancient Gear Golems or Ultimate Pounds when it leaves the field by your opponent's card effect, you special summon Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. That's right, the 4400 attack point Gear Golem Beatdown is not the fun thing to fight, and I know. I have one and I have faced off against one, but this thing is a nightmare. I mean, if I could get away with playing Megalovania from the Undertale soundtrack, I would. But I think I think Toby Fox would copyright me on that one. But seriously, that's a bad day. And I can see people having one of these in your deck, and rightly so, because you're not really going to have more than one. Mainly because people are going to be fusing together their golems for this. They're going to be fusing together golems and Ultimate Pounds. So I can see one of these in the extra deck for all the gear heads. I mean, standing next to the other Ancient Gear fusions, that's pretty wild. But in any case, that's all 4 of the support cards for the Ancient Gears coming February 23rd, 2018. Which one is your favorite? Which one do you plan on using, if all of them or any of them? And how do you think they're going to hit the ban list? Like I said, Ancient Gear Frame 1. I'm calling it. The ban lists are only gonna have this. They're only gonna allow 1 Ancient Gear Frame. So you guys heard the prediction here first from me. 3 Hell Gear. When it drops, Ancient Gear Frame is going to 1. They'll probably make Megaton Golem 1. I can see that being semi-limited. Competition Cross Dimension, I can see that as 1 as well. But let me know what you think. I'm going to make another quick video on another archetype of cards that I find pretty interesting. But for now, I take my cards to the box because I'm done. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.